Okay, Sophie's Wild Cornwall is up and running, finally. It's an absolutely beautiful day. Now the UK has some 4,000 kilometres of coastal cliffs, 75% of which are triple SIs, sites of special scientific interest. This is Millock, one of the best examples of seeing folded strata, so folded layers of rock in the UK. Their grazing is amazing actually for biodiversity. Woo! Day 3, onwards and upwards and downwards and upwards and downwards. To Tintagel, peregrines, buzzards, kestrels. Check it out! Cornwall is putting on quite a show this morning. And I'm the only one up here. Why is no one else enjoying this? I can hear kittiwakes. The best thing about kittiwakes is that they're really, really hardcore because they spend the winter out in the Atlantic and then come back in the summer to breed. Oh my gosh, I've just seen 4 seals. I've just seen 4 seals. I'm so close to the kestrel. I'm hoping to see a chuff. The chuff is a kind of crow. Been well chuffed, if I saw that. They've been really, really rare across the UK for years. I think I may have just seen a chuff. What is it with wildlife today? That's nuts! Wild Cornwall! Whether you're into the outdoors or not, I challenge you to come to a place like this on a day like this, or even when it's pouring with rain, and not feel invigorated or close to nature. I'm not sure what I'm doing here. I'm doing a Bear Grylls thing. Severe terrain, but we'll see about that. I am the youngest person on the trail by a good 30 years, I'd say. Oh look, there's Poldark. There he is. Joking, I wish. And I don't know if you can hear, but this is absolutely, literally buzzing with life. Life from a totally different perspective. Shags are often identified by hanging out their wings like this to dry after diving. Well spotted, me. Thank you. Oh, it's too hot. Whole leg is really isolated. The view helps though. It really, really helps. I'd actually rather be doing this than anything else. No, it's a bit hard. Come on. Seal, 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 right in front of me, look. Tree seals are one of the true seal species, and their Latin name, Halicoerus gripus. It means hook-nosed pig, have been known to prey on larger mammals like harbour porpoises, which is a bit of a weird thought. And their mothers feed them for about a month with milk that is 60% fat. Oh, look at that, wild, wild, wild. I think I found yummy air again. Yummy. That is lush. Well, this is top class. Things to do, lobsters to see. There's a butterfly chilling on the floor. But yeah, that was a red admiral I saw. Can you believe such a tiny little animal migrates all the way from North Africa? Oh my gosh! There's just so much going on. I think I've just seen a gannet. There's a guillemot, 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 guillemot. It's just so like, it's like, whoa. Coming into Poleseth now, ironically right by an advert for the Poleseth Marine Conservation Group. I found all this netting and plastic. A huge percentage of our plastic comes from inland sources. The fact that it can stay so stable in winds like this is amazing. How good was that? To the National Lobster Hatchery.
These larvae are then kept in a safe environment as they grow and mature for about 2 weeks. Because lobsters are cannibalistic and they will eat each other, The juveniles are kept in separate containers under natural conditions for about 2 weeks before they are returned to the sea.
Despite their name, are actually lizards. Habitat encroachment and habitat loss due to farming intensification and things like that. Slow worms are vulnerable to environmental change. They initiate courtship with a female slow worm by biting her head and neck. Mating can last for as long as 10 hours. Got the stamina there. Lynn Richards, who contacted me on YouTube, is apparently moving to Cornwall. You have made the right decision. What I mean about walking, you can see so much more. You can almost smell the quality of these rock pools. Boobies. There's a beautiful shag holding out its wings just in front of me. That is beautiful. Reminds me why on earth I'm doing this to myself.
I then got a great opportunity to interview some surfers fresh out of the sea to talk to them a little bit about their thoughts on plastic pollution.
There's still a lot of people that think it's acceptable to just sort of leave your trash.
Super pumped to see any form of marine mammal. A good way to spot dolphins from a distance, especially on a day like this, is to look out for seabirds. I would love to see a sunfish, but they're the weirdest looking fish I've ever seen. I've never seen one. The absolute metropolis of Newquay. Rhizome helps completely stabilise the plant, so when there's high winds and the sands are shifting, it can stay there and root and help prevent coastal erosion. Apparently adders can be seen in these parts. They like to chill out in the sunshine, a bit like all those beach bums over there. Oh, my clothes, my boots, my boots, my boots, my boots, my boots! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh, sopping! Ah! It's day 50. I've been in the desert for 50 days, drinking my own urine. Unfortunately, Gary didn't make it. Gary, I miss you. I'm hallucinating. It's amazing to stand here and have a window into the past. You can almost imagine the fractures going under intense pressure and intense cooling, and then these minerals just ever so gradually being deposited over time. Geology rocks! And the purple heathland that I can see around this part is a direct result of low impact grazing and good heathland management. Just left shortly after sunrise to try and beat the heat. All sorts of chattering going on here. Studies have shown that birds at the centre of the colony have often been together for several years. Mum and the dad can both equally share parenting duties. I guess the same goes for humans, really. Right. That's a skylark over there, and he was popping up like quite possibly the worst impression of a skylark I've ever heard. They can rise almost vertically up in the air to nearly 300 metres, but their nests remain on the ground. On the map, this is called Hell's Mouth, but it doesn't look very hellish to me. The beach is normally absolutely swarming with grey seals. Oh, there it is! Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. So happy. I'm so happy. I hate it. This woman was just like, oh, a bit hot today, love. Yes, I am a bit hot actually. I'm just bent over on my ankle again and it hurts so much. Oh God. Waters around St Ives are an area of outstanding natural beauty because of the marine life it is home to. Still have not seen a single person anywhere close to my age on the path. Does wonders for the summer bod as well. Blooming good exercise. Think of the Instagram likes you'll get standing on a place like this. Kestrel, 12 o'clock. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Chuff, 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 chuff. That is a chuff, ladies and gentlemen. 96% sure that that was indeed a chuff. Oh my gosh, this terrain is so draining. I'm being fried alive. Lovely healthy poos, which then fertilise the ground and encourage more growth. Oh, Honestly, that is how I'm feeling right now, Frederica. Can we just take a moment to appreciate the colour of this water? No words.
Now, lichen are a little bit weird in the plant world, so most of what you see here is actually a fungus, but right inside, housed in these tiny little crevices, are algae, so tiny little plants that produce their own chlorophyll from sunlight and carbon dioxide.
A lot bigger than kittiwakes. They have a huge wingspan. It's really beautifully outlined in white. They're going from one to the other and swooping down. It's actually really, really dramatic. RSPB Porthgwara. It's the most southwesterly valley in the UK. Their clicking noise sounds like two pebbles being chipped together. They can be identified by the red spot on the underside of their bill. Now, in a classic behavioural experiment, Tinbergen, who was the scientist, realised that this red spot was an essential visual cue for the chicks of the gull to encourage the parent to regurgitate food and ultimately aid their survival. When I was little, I used to think that the red spot used to be ketchup on the seagull from stealing too many chips. So now you know it has an ultimately biological and survival function. So for some reason, the lizard is just a little magical collection of all of the best species that Cornwall has to offer. Onwards to the lizard! That is Mullion Island, formed by lava spilling over from cracks in the Earth's crust and then cooling in lumps, known as pillow lava. Absolutely covered in lichen. It just shows what fresh air must just blast through this peninsula. The journey began 6 miles under the Earth's crust, and then over time were baked to form some of the world's most beautiful examples of serpentine rock. Where else can you have a window into the Earth's mantle than right here at the Lizard Peninsula? And then just the biodiversity that thrives around that geological event. It's amazing. For some reason they remind me of old men in jacuzzis and spas, just sort of vegging.
Falmouth Estuary is the 3rd deepest natural harbour in the world, and it's the interaction between the estuary and the sea environment that makes it so productive and brings it so much diverse wildlife.
Just seen a peregrine, fastest animal on the planet. Harbour porpoises are really, really shy.
The social life of the harbour porpoise is poorly understood, but some have been known to hunt in packs, but they mainly are thought to forage alone and be fairly solitary.
Swanpool has over 100 recorded bird species. The coot's totally black and it's got these really weird, really cool feet, so they're sort of flaps of skin as opposed to web. It's very muggy! It's so muggy! Meet Doris, she is a top grazer of these parts. He is a top grazer of these parts. Thank you, David, for allowing me to walk in your field. No, I think it's good I didn't become a vet because I think it was a Doris in the end. That's a David. No question up there. Big boy Dave. Hello. When cuttlefish die, their large, chunky internal shell, the cuttlefish bone, washes up on the seashore and is very commonly seen. You can tell where the prevailing wind is a bit, can't you? The bloody nose beetle often form what is known as a slime capsule over their bodies, which maintains their moisture. Currently running through the fields of wheat. How naughty! The relationship between the flower and the pollinator is one of the most mysterious and interesting of all, I think. What we think was a peregrine falcon swooping in to attack the buzzards, who I think clearly strayed into the peregrine's territory. Day 22. Day 22, my last day. Big day. A mixed bag of emotions this morning. I think my feet are becoming sites of special scientific interest by the state they are in my socks. What I've tried to do throughout the last 3 weeks, not only explore and celebrate our local wildlife, local landscape here in the UK, but also present science out of the classroom and show you that You don't have to be sat in front of a textbook, listening to a lecture, watching an hour-long documentary to foster and develop an interest in science and nature. All those things have a time and a place. But what I've tried to show is that just by getting outside and opening your eyes a little bit into what's around you and spending time, you can really start to get in touch with what's around you and really start to understand and care about the environment and the wildlife. I can't stress enough the relationship that I've found between just being outside and then being interested in science. So important now to try and get as many people as possible interested in the environment and science. The more people we can get doing this kind of thing and utilising and making the most of the massive potential of current communication and mobile phones, the better. I hope that you've enjoyed following me on my journey and seeing what things the UK has that perhaps you may not have seen. 3 weeks ago I had 300 miles in front of me and now I just have 2. It's crazy. Coming into Plymouth, coming into Plymouth. Plymouth, Plymouth, Plymouth.